Well, hey guys. In this podcast, I'm going to talk to you about how to set up your notebook. You were given a composition book in class, and I want you to always have your science material in the composition book that you were given. If you fill up this book, just ask me for another one. I'd be glad to give you one. Make sure you have your name on the outside, so if you leave it around someplace, it gets lost, we can get it back to you. Then on the Help Resources page in Classcraft, there is a spot where you can download some of these pages that need to be glued into your notebook. The first one is the Science and Engineering Practices page. So print it and then either tape it or glue it in your notebook. If you don't have the ability to print this page out and tape it in there, you can always just write the Science and Engineering Practices in. The same thing's true for the cross-cutting concepts. Make sure you have that on one of those first pages in your notebook. It doesn't matter if it's the exact first page or second page. You don't need to know all about the science and engineering practices and the cross-cutting concepts yet. You're going to be watching videos over the next few weeks so that you begin to learn what those items are. Then also on the resource page, there's a place for you to copy and or write down the discussion rubric so you'll see how you're going to be scored for your online discussions each week. Then, on another page of your notebook, I would like you to have a reminder of the kinds of things we're going to write about each time we have an activity that we do in class. I will expect you to have a title for that activity, like a lab or whatever we're doing, and the title can be as creative as you want it to be, but it should be about the topic that we're studying. I'll have you put down the date so you can go back and refer to that if you're absent, or it's just a great practice to have a date on there. I will ask you to draw diagrams of the setup for the lab. You'll have captions, you'll have labels. As we collect data, you might have a data table, you might be taking temperature readings, things like that. Observations that you make, you're going to write those down. You're also going to have questions that you're going to generate, and then eventually answers to those questions. And of course, there could be some notes. I could be writing on the board, and so you might be writing your notes, copying what I've got on the board. So all of those go on in your notebook, and so just have a page up front that reminds you of what is going to be included in each activity that we do in class. Then when you're given an assignment to do out of your textbook, then you just flip to the next blank page and you would write the page number and the question number. If you're asked to take notes on the reading, you just put it on the next page. But again, you should label it with a title of some sort so that you know what that material was all about. Then every week when you come to class, I expect you to bring the book, your textbook, especially if we have readings and questions in the book. I know they're kind of heavy books, but just throw it in your backpack and just bring it to class. That way we aren't fighting and figuring out who has a book and who doesn't. Your notebook should come to school with you every week. And of course, bring pencils and writing utensils and things like that. So get your notebook set up so when I see you the following week, that you have this thing all ready to go. If you ever have any questions, just feel free to email me, text me, and I'll answer your questions. So I'll see you later. Thanks.